All right, we are live. Welcome to PTA Sports. I am your host, Pest the Analyst, and whoa boy, do I have a guest for y'all today. This guest is so special that I am actually showing my face on my channel. That's how special this is tonight, y'all. Y'all are witnesses of history because I am joined by a great Giants fan and an even better YouTube creator, Chris, the entertainer, talking sports. Say hello to the people.
Man, Pest, man, thank you so much for the really nice introduction. Always been a great supporter of my channel. Came on my channel a couple weeks ago. Yeah, man, you're such a cool guy. I always talk to you in the Discord whenever I can. And I'm rooting for your channel, man. I was saying before we went live, I think you're building something good, man. It's just a matter of, getting more consistent with it. But I definitely think you got a good product, and I'm always thoroughly entertained whenever I tune into one of your videos or your streams. So anytime I could talk to a Giants fan, it's a blast, man. And I'm glad to be here.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. I see that there are people coming in. Hey, welcome, guys. I appreciate all y'all being here, man. We got my dog. Yo, we got my dog up in here. Afghanistan, baby. Oh, yeah. That is my dog. What's going on, Afghanistan? I see Football Talk is in here. What's going on, Football Talk? Gabriel, how you say your name? Gabriel Espanol? All right, Gabriel. You got a Mets fan in here. So Chris the Entertainer is not by himself with the Mets fan. All right. So that's always good. That is always good. D Rose, what's going on? Bigger.
Oh, God. We got Bigger Mike. Get him out. We got to start handing out wrenches to get rid of Bigger Mike. No, we're just kidding.
Mike, if that's your real name. What's going on, Blue Collar? How you doing, man? Thanks for being here, man. I appreciate all y'all coming up in here. So, hey, listen, this is what we're gonna do. I gotta start off with something very specific. All right. So, I don't know how many of y'all watched my video from last night. I don't know how many of y'all jumped up onto my channel and clicked the thumbnail that was like, "You mad?" But Jawad, what's going on, brother? But hey, listen, I gotta let you guys know something. I was half trolling. Afghanistan is about to head into his local Walmart. Well, listen, man. All right, cool. This is what I need you to do. Make sure you put on a mask. All right. Make sure you put on a mask.
All put on a mask, Afghanistan. We can't lose you. You're too good of a subscriber.
You are important to me. All right. Yeah.
I think Pest is putting on a mask. He doesn't want to get you guys infected on the stream.
Put on your mask. Put your mask on, right? And make sure that nobody gets anything. This is my pestilence mask. You guys get to see my pestilence mask tonight. It's not even on correctly because I just kind of threw it on my head.
Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that?
I don't remember. I bought it somewhere. I was drunk.
I like it. I mean, you're a good-looking guy, but you might look a little better even with the mask. It's good-looking.
You know what? So because I don't ever show my face on the stream, I was going to actually wear this tonight. And then I changed my mind. I was like, you know what? This is a big deal. And I really should just, not make this gimmicky and just show my face.
Yeah.
Because, it's kind of whatever. All right. You can find my face on the interwebs somewhere. It's not that hard.
You're on my chat. You're on my channel.
I'm also on your channel. I was just on Bagdaw's channel. People know what I look like, so it's whatever. So all right, check this out. I was half trolling y'all last night. So if you go back and you watch the video, right, you'll get to see that I was legitimately half trolling all of y'all. And I noticed I got a couple of thumbs down on the video. That's kind of a first. Somebody told me to shut up. I was like, yo, that's funny. I was really happy about it. But I was half trolling y'all. But I was also half serious because some of y'all is really mad about the situation of certain people's contracts on this team. And I really don't understand it. So what I want to do is I want to get the man's perspective on this because y'all got Pest's perspective, but I need to get the man's perspective on this. Chris the Entertainer, how are you feeling about the fact that today Leonard Williams was essentially guaranteed a crap ton of money to play for 1 year for the New York Giants.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of New York Giants fans definitely aren't excited about that. He's not worth that. Let's be real. He's not worth $16.5 million, especially when you see a guy like Jadeveon Clowney still out there in the open market, and he can't even get $11 or $12 million. So I get why Giants fans are up in arms about it, but here's the story at the end of the day. We knew this going into the offseason after Gettleman traded for him, which if I could go back in time, as much as I try to defend Dave whenever I can, that is not one of his shining moments. But so if I go back in time, I would have said, Dave, maybe don't call the Jets today. But he did. They made the trade. He was on the team. And I think we all knew that he was going to be on the team this year, regardless of whether or not they were able to work out a long-term contract extension or they were forced to sign the franchise tag. They decided to franchise tag him. And yeah, it sucks that we have to commit $16.5 million to him this year. But at the end of the day, it's only a one-year deal. I mean, at the end of the day, he's not going to be on this team next year if he's going to command that type of money. Yeah, it sucks that we're having to pay him $6 million over market value, and it definitely sucks that we had to give up a third-round pick to acquire him. But I think he'll be a good player for this team this year, and that's really all that matters. At the end of the day, Pest, over 1 year, let's say his market value was $11 million. That's probably about what it was. Let's just say, throw a roundabout number. That extra $6 million, what would it have really done for this team this year? Like, that's the way I look at it. It's 1 year. It's not going to kill me. What upsets me more is the trade itself. But paying him an extra $6 million for one season, it's not a back-breaking contract.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, Joseph Garcia. Last night, you called me a bitch in the comment section. I just wanted to let it be known that last night you called me a bitch in the comment section. And I know why you mad. I know the real reason why you're mad. Because you can't look this good. You can't talk this good. Because you can't think this good. You can't act this good. And you can't even smell this good. So I know why you're mad. You can just be mad. Because you'll never be Pest the Analyst.
You know what? You're going to get trolls, man. So it looks like congratulations, man.
I'm here for the smoke, baby. I want all the trolls. If you are a troll in the comment section, I need you to go ahead and click subscribe on my page, right? And every week, every day, every time I put a video out, I want you to hit the thumbs down button. I want you to call me every name in the book in the comment section. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video about you specifically. And I don't even have to know you. I don't even have to know you to talk smack about you.
Awesome. Right. What's your take on Leo, on that contract?
Listen, man. So yesterday I said in my video, I said, people are mad about the fact that we paid this much money for him. The market value was about 10, maybe 11, right? In order to get this guy to stay on our team, we're going to probably have to pay him 12 or 13.
Right.
Okay. Because you have to pay over market value for unrestricted free agents. That's the way it always works. Okay. Unless somebody loves being on your team and doesn't want to go anywhere and doesn't want to pick up and move with the family, and you're doing really well and you got an opportunity to win a Super Bowl, no one's going to really take a team-friendly deal. So we're going to have to pay upwards to this much money anyway. All right.
Right. And the second we traded for him, we had no leverage. Zero leverage.
And we have no leverage. So we have to do what we have to do to keep this guy. Dave Gettleman has to make sure this guy plays at least this upcoming season to justify what he traded to get him. That's plain and simple. Okay. So everybody's all mad about these contracts. Everybody's all mad about what's going on with it. But like at the end of the day, right? He's on our team. So right. Just deal with the fact that he's on our team for a year. And the fact of the matter is that it's not like he's a super bum. We're not talking about Preston Parker here. Okay. Right. We're talking about a guy who's actually pretty damn good at what he does. So let's just enjoy the fact that we got this guy. And yes, it's going to cost us a little extra to keep him. Whatever. But if Leonard Williams has a bomb-ass season this upcoming season, ain't nobody going to be talking about, I can't believe we get a franchise tag on him. They're going to be like, yo, I hope he stays. That's what's going to happen.
And you know what's going to happen. He's going to. And then the Giants are going to probably have to overpay to keep him here. They'll probably – yeah.
I'm going to tell you why he's going to, because I honestly think he's probably going to. I'm going to tell you why he's going to. You got to understand something. He came to the Giants halfway through the season. He did no OTAs with us. He built no camaraderie with us. He showed up one day and went to work. Like he showed up and all of a sudden, oh, you're the starter now. Like that's essentially what happened. But now he's got an entire offseason to learn the plays and learn the terminology and build camaraderie with his teammates. And no, man, that may facilitate him to have a great year. And then y'all gonna be crying when he don't re-sign with us. You're gonna be like, oh, Dave, get him and let him walk away for nothing. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna be like, so you mad, huh? That's to anybody who watched the video, I continue to say, so you mad, huh? And listen, that's gonna be from yesterday and this day forward. When you hear me say, so you mad, huh? Know that I'm trolling your ass. because you're doing exactly what I said you was going to do, or you're doing something that's just outlandish. Okay.
The other thing I want to point out with Leo, if we do let him walk after the year, let's say he has that bomb-ass year like you're talking about. Say he goes out there, because I do think he fits this defensive scheme well. Let's say he goes out there, gets 6 sacks, great in the run defense, grades out well in PFF, whatever, has a really strong year for the New York Giants, and the Giants don't elect to keep him. He's going to get paid. If he goes out and gets paid somewhere else, we're going to be compensated at least a third-round pick back. And if we're compensated that third-round pick, it doesn't equate to the 60, what was it, 60, whatever it would have been, 66, 67 pick overall in this year's draft. We'll probably get around 98, 99, but it's still pretty comparable to what we lost in terms of that third-round pick. So at least we would get that back. I'm not trying to say it was a good trade. I still think it was a bad one. But if we were to let him walk, we would more than likely get that compensation pick back if he were to get paid handsomely on the open market. So that also needs to be taken into account.
Right. Absolutely. I just want to kind of pay some attention to this chat over here. Jay Berman. Hey, Jay Berman, I don't know if you know this or not, Entertainer. And Jay, I'm fairly certain that I swiped you from the Entertainer. Did you know that Jay Berman is like a Giants pseudo historian?
Oh, he's the man. Jay Berman's always in my streams. He's a diehard fan. He's in my new movie channel all the time. He knows his stuff. He's definitely one of my older subscribers. Very intelligent Giant fan.
He is on deck to be a guest on one of these live streams.
You gotta have him on. He's great.
I want to hear all that old school Giant stuff. But let's just see what he said. He said, on what planet isn't Williams supposed to negotiate for as much as he can? Okay, GM boxed himself in. So effing what? It's a business. Good players aren't cheap, and sometimes you overpay. Welcome to reality. Exactly. Like the fact of the matter is, like I said this in the video, like y'all mad because he's gonna get paid on name value. Like that's what everybody does. They get paid on name value. Bigger Mike, you know what? You're giving us a below average record, right? You're giving us a below average prediction on the record. And I'm not surprised of you giving something below average, because that girl you always talk about on Discord is always going to be below average, just so you know.
I'm going to talk about another thing. And he brings up a great point. GMs make bad trades at the end of the day. The New England Patriots, go back and look at their history. They have not drafted very well the last 5 or 6 years, but Bill Belichick knows how to get the most out of his players. But look at the player that the Patriots brought in last year, and I don't think he's still on the team. I could be wrong. If he is, somebody correct me. But last year they gave up a second-round pick, I'm pretty sure, for Mohamed Sanu.
Yeah.
You don't hear anybody talking about that. Now, granted, it made more sense. They were in the race to try to win a Super Bowl, which is why the Leonard Williams trade never made a lot of sense to me. But my point is, all teams make bad trades. And we can't, every time our GM, whether it's Gettleman or whether it's whoever's going to eventually replace Gettleman, we can't automatically say because, and I'm not saying he hasn't made other questionable moves, but you can't say, oh, we got to fire this guy because he made this trade. Every GM makes bad trades. That was a bad one. But every GM makes bad trades. You go back, you look at the Rams last year. The Rams gave up, 2 first-round picks, and they weren't even in contention to go to the playoffs in the NFC West, really. I mean, when you looked at it, you had the Seahawks and the Niners. So teams make dumb decisions from time to time, and hopefully you hope that the good decisions offset the bad ones.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't agree more. It could be worse, Giants fans. It could be absolutely worse. Did you guys see what the Green Bay Packers did in the offseason?
Oh
Did you
God.
guys see what the Green Bay Packers did in the draft? Like, did you guys see that?
Oh God.
And y'all mad because we got a player that I personally think is really good at what he does. I really think Leonard Williams is good at what he does. We're overpaying a bit for a player that's really good at what he does. Y'all mad because he got like half a sack? He's not a sack guy. That's not what he's supposed to do. Go look at my video about gaps and techniques. Leonard Williams fills one of those gaps I was talking about in that video. All right, like that's
Yeah.
just what it is.
I mean, on a 3-4 defense, the defensive lineman's job, obviously you like to get sacks when you can, but their primary job is like what you just said, to take the attention from the offensive line, to give the outside linebacker or the blitzing safety or whatever the ability to get after the quarterback. They're supposed to occupy the gaps.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm just gonna listen. There you go, Eagles fan 89. I'm gonna give you some attention. I'm gonna give you a little bit of attention because you're yapping a whole lot. Oh, look at what else he said. Hold on a second. Look at what else he said. Look at this dumbass shit he said. Oh, is that right? Is that right, Eagles fan 89? I'm here for the smoke. All right. You on the wrong channel if you think you're going to get away with talking smack in the comments, because I'm always watching. I can multitask, pimping, all right? And that take right there, that's the dumbest take I ever heard in my life. But you got a little bit of attention. Enjoy your 35 seconds of fame. There you go.
I just want to address what Christoph Porzingis said in the chat. He says, Tana, do you care more about your movie channel than your sport? No. You know how hard I've worked to build up my sports channel? Listen, right now, I think Pest could attest to this. There's not a lot to talk about. And I am not going to be one of these content creators that just forces content and gives you nothing when there's nothing to talk about. So I'm trying to do something different. I'm trying to build up a second channel. I love movies, but no, I'm always going to put just as much work into my sports channel that I always have. It's just that when there's nothing to talk about, I'm not going to give you bullshit. So no, I have not.
Tanner, you know what? We switching the direction of this entire live stream because all we doing now is talking shit about people putting dumbass comments in the comment section. We ain't talking about the Giants no more. Let's see. Who else is dumb? This guy. You see this guy? This guy with clown ass Max Kellerman as his icon? He's dumb. He's dumb. Who else is dumb? You see this guy? This guy called me a bitch. He's dumb. That guy dumb as hell. Okay? This guy's actually awesome. Y'all should go and follow this guy. You should go and subscribe to his channel because this guy right here, this guy is awesome. Okay?
Here's the man.
This guy, I don't even know you, and I hate your guts.
No, Jawan's awesome. Jawan's awesome.
I'm kidding, Jawan. You the man. I'm kidding with you. Hey, we just having fun, y'all. We having a lot of fun. All right, hey, Chris, I got a second question because I talked about this in my video yesterday, and I wanted to address it also.
Yeah.
Nate Solder. All right, people mad. What was the amount? Nate Solder, $19.5 million. All right, 19.5. So, tell me how you feel about Nate Solder making 19.5, and we don't even know where he's going to play.
Yeah, and I saw Christoph say sorry. You don't have to say sorry at all, man. I'm not like upset or anything. I'm just telling you that's why I haven't been putting out as much content. There's no sports to talk about right now. As far as Nate Solder goes. Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, we knew this going into the offseason. We signed this guy 3 years ago. It was a bad contract. I think we all understood why they signed him to the contract. And we could debate all day who made the decision whether or not to make the New York Giants a win-now team in 2018. I personally think it was Mara. Some people may put the blame on Gettleman. I think Mara forced them on Eli Manning on them and wanted to make them a win-now team year one. But we'll never know the full answer to that. But regardless, I think we all realize why they signed Nate Solder. And I think every Giants fan was happy when they signed him. Usually when you sign somebody in free agency, you're going to overpay, specifically at the offensive tackle position. The best offensive tackles don't reach free agency, okay? You look at the best offensive tackles, they don't leave. Those teams keep those players. So Nate Solder was a good offensive tackle that the Giants paid as if he was a great one because they had to. And he hasn't been good since he's gotten here. But you can't really – I mean, yes, it was a bad signing. I'm not going to tell you it's not. He might be the most overpaid player in the sport. But when they brought him in, the Giants had no left tackle. They had an immobile quarterback. You needed to fix the offensive line. He was the best available player at that position, and they threw money at him. So do I understand the signing? 1,000%. If I could go back in time, would I tell him, maybe you don't want to make that move? Yes, but you have to at least understand why you made the move. As far as him being on the team this year, you can't cut him. The guy, I think he has a $15 million dead cap or something like that. You wouldn't save any money, so you might as well let it play out. He's got experience. You got a second-year quarterback. You want to have as much experience on that line as you can get. whether, even we could knock Solder, and he was bad last year. But I think one thing people need to realize, Daniel Jones last year was a rookie quarterback. Daniel Jones held onto the ball a lot, longer than he should have. And I'm not knocking Jones. He's a rookie. But I think Solder, he was bad, but I think he looked worse than what he really was. I think Solder will be better this year, especially with an improved offensive line coach. And the other good news we got is if he's not good, well, we got depth at that position this year. You got Nick Gates, you got Cam Fleming, you got Matt Parrott. So if he's not good, we're going to replace him within 4 or 5 weeks. But, this is a contract we knew going into the year. So, it's 3 years ago. Let's get over it. That's the way I look at that. He's going to be off the books after this year anyway.
You're terrible. You're terrible. Okay, so see, here's my thing about Nate Solder. I'm not the biggest Nate Solder fan in terms of what he does on the football field. Okay, he hasn't been doing great. He hasn't. No. I've called him out. I have called Nate Solder out. It's on wax, y'all. You're gonna have to dig through some of my videos, but it's on wax of me saying, "Yo, Nate Solder kind of sucking right now." All right, but I think sometimes I just want to, so you can see it, Nick. We're gonna talk about that. That's some big stuff right there. I didn't mean to. Okay, whatever. But we as fans, right? We're terrible people.
Especially New York fans.
Yeah, but as fans, period, we're terrible people, right? Because all we care about is what people are doing on the field. We give no care about what's going on in their personal life.
Right.
And I think that's garbage, okay? And I said this on my video last night. I referenced back because I know I made some people angry last night. Maybe. But the fact of the matter is this. We forget, oh, hell no, Joseph Garcia. Booth is not better than Pest, okay? Booth will never be better than Pest. As a matter of fact, is that Booth? I think that is Booth. Is that Booth? Are you Booth? Joseph Garcia, if you're Booth, you'll never work in this town again.
Who's Booth? It sounds like a dog.
Booth is a guy that I play Madden with, man. He's a decent person, but a terrible human being. I'm beginning to think that's who that is. And all the things I said about you are absolutely true if you are Booth. Okay. Here's the thing. I referenced this in my video last night. We forget that Nate Solder got a lot of personal issues. Yeah. They're not even bad personal issues, but Nate Solder's got a lot of personal issues. Now, I don't personally have any children, okay? But if I had a son who had cancer, my job would not be a priority in my life.
Right.
We forget that. Okay, the writing was on the wall for me as I look back, hindsight 2020, when when Nate Solder was interviewed after he signed, and they asked him why he wanted to come to New York. One of the main things he talked about was, "Yo, there's some good facilities here that I can take my son to." Nate Solder had to get his bag because when you're talking about cancer, that's just expensive, y'all. It ain't cheap to treat cancer. And so that is what this dude's focus probably is. Football is not like he's playing football so his son can live to see tomorrow. Straight up.
No, and at the end of the day, I think a lot of these athletes, and I get it, because I like you said, we're horrible people as fans. We look at them and we say this guy makes $20 million. There's no excuses. But at the end of the day, they're humans. And maybe that did have a lot to do with I think it did. I'm not going to make an excuse for all of his poor play on that. But you go back, look at Nate Solder's first year here. He played great the second half of his first season. Everybody forgets about that. I do think his son had a lot to do with it. And I think Daniel Jones had a lot to do with it. I'm not trying to rag on Daniel Jones, but rookie quarterback, he held on to the ball too long. He's got to work on the pocket awareness. I think he will. And he's got to work at the pre-snap read. So I think Solder would be much better this year.
Shout out to Bad Dog Sports. What's going on, my guy? Hey, so I just want you to know something, Bad Dog. I'm continuously checking the time. I typically start my live stream at like 8:45, but I push it up early because I really want to be in the chat for your roundtable. Your roundtable looks interesting as hell because you got three guys that I really enjoy watching, and I hate their fucking teams. So I'm excited about your live stream. Hey, everyone that is in our live stream tonight, right now, when this is done, you take your ass over to Bad Dogs channel, okay, and you listen to 4 really good content creators talking about their respective teams in our division that we collectively share, that one day we're gonna fucking own.
Oh yeah.
One day.
Couple years.
Please shout out to Bad Dog, man. I'm glad you're here, brother.
What's going on, Bad Dog?
So I mean, like, yeah, as you know, to kind of play off what you were saying, like Nate Solder did play really good that second half of the year, and I remember reading something after the end of that season where his son was out of remission, and suddenly Nate Solder started playing like crap. So like, the fact of the matter is that I'm putting 2 and 2 together here. I really think that things ain't going well for Nate Solder's son. And his mind ain't on X's and O's right now. It's on his son breathing in the morning. All right. And then he made mention about the whole playing, and I don't think it's the smartest idea to go play. And I saw people jumping on him for that too. But like, yo,
that's messed up.
His son got cancer. So you want him to go out, play football, potentially expose himself to COVID, and to bring that home to his son? It's not really a good idea, y'all. So like sometimes as fans, we need to take a step back, right? And acknowledge that these guys are humans. They've got families, just like we've got families, and they give a shit about their family. And some of them play for the love of the game, but some of them pay to take care of their families. So it's real shitty, in my opinion, for y'all to be jumping down this man's throat when he's trying to feed his family. He's trying to take care of his kid. He sucks right now. I'll admit it. He sucks right now. But we don't even know if he's going to suck this upcoming season, because we don't even know if he's going to play.
We don't even know if we're going to have a season. We hope we're going to have a season.
And we may not even have a season.
Yeah.
So when I see fans, when I see Giants fans specifically being toxic for no damn reason, I'm going to call that ass out. If you don't like it, well then hit the thumbs down and then unsubscribe.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to call you out. I don't care. Like, y'all got to realize, y'all got to realize something about me. I'm the right one, okay? I'm the right one. I'm not hiding behind a microphone and a keyboard. I'm not hiding, all right? If you got a problem, come see me. We can talk about it. I'm not hiding about nothing. I don't show my face, not because I don't want y'all to know what I look like, because I don't care if you know what I look like. I don't use my real name because we all got to have a pseudonym, right? And I've got a really good job that can't be associated to this. But I'm the right one. If you got a problem, we can talk about it. I'm on Twitter. I'm at the end of every one of my videos, it says, well, it used to say, come at me, bro. But now it says I'm here for the smoke. And my ad is at the end of every video. Come talk to me, because you got the right one. You got the right one.
I'm with you on the Nate Solder thing. I mean, listen, I'm going to rag on him if we play a season, if he plays poorly, because I'm a fan. But at the end of the day, yeah, you have to sympathize with his situation. And if they play this year, there's a good chance he doesn't. For the exact reason that you said, he'd be giving up a lot of money. I'm not sure exactly how the opt-out's going to play out, but nothing's more important than your kid's health, like you just said. And Nate Solder's made more than enough money to be able to make sure that he's good for the rest of his life. So why is he going to put his son's life in jeopardy? It's already in jeopardy. Why would he compound that this year? I think there's a very good chance he won't play. The good news is, like I said earlier, we're pretty deep at that position. I think Cam Fleming could step in, do a decent job at the right tackle spot, Gates, whoever it may be. But yeah, you're not going to see me rag on Solder. Yeah, was it a bad contract? Yes. But like I said, when you first asked me, it was a contract that was necessary when we did it. There wasn't a better left tackle in the open market. We had no offensive line. What can you do?
Yeah, we had to do it. It is what it is, y'all. We had to do it, and now we stuck. But guess what? He probably not going to be here next year anyway. So we just got to deal with it for a season, and we move on. It's all good.
Yeah.
All right, Chris. Did you see the information about our place kicker?
I did. Now, from what I read, somebody, I forgot who wrote it on Twitter, but somebody's
license plate guy.
License plate guy. That's right. He said that he did not hit the car, that he was actually hit. And then rumors came out that he may not have. Maybe I misread that part, or I don't remember correctly. Was he not drinking supposedly from the rumors, or was it just that he was hit?
Well, so what the message read was that basically he did not hit anyone. Someone hit him. He didn't try to evade. He didn't try to run away or escape. He never blew a breathalyzer. He never did a sobriety test. There was no question about his his mental state or his sobriety. And he went to the hospital to get checked because he was injured. He wasn't injured super bad, but he was injured. So he went to the hospital and they did all the stuff that they needed to do. And he was never what license plates guy is saying is that he was not even arrested. If y'all remember when this information came out, there was a mugshot that was shown, right? Apparently that mugshot's from his first DUI that he got. Now I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not saying that that's true because we don't know. This is just something that has come out. License plate guy said it. License plate guy kind of referenced a source. He didn't say who the source is, but license plate guy is in the dream seats at every game, so he got ins. Okay.
He's our unofficial mascot, but
he got ins. So
if that'll be interesting to see how that plays out because obviously he was painted by everybody. When you saw the picture, you just assumed that was the picture that took place that day. Right. So who knows? I'm sure that there'll be news about it if that is the case. And if that is the case, if he wasn't drinking, the thing is this: if he was drinking, he was still operating a vehicle. So right. he's still in the wrong whether he got hit or not, whether he fled the scene or not. Obviously, it's not as bad. But the fact that he was drinking, and if you're telling me he had a prior DUI on top of that,
he did have a prior DUI. People said that this was his second one.
Right.
If this one was a DUI, because he got a DUI. I think it was in college when he got a DUI. All right, listen, people do dumb stuff in college, all right? One of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the New York Giants got a drunken public charge when he was in college. Oh, my God.
People make mistakes. People make mistakes, but if it's his second one, even if he didn't cause the accident, I still think there's a good possibility he's going to be cut if he was driving under the influence, which
right.
I guess, like I said, we'll wait to see how it plays out. I'm trying to do the same thing with DeAndre Baker, even though what came out does not look promising. Obviously, his lawyer rebutted it, but you expect his lawyer to rebut that. So we'll see how both play out. But as a Giants fan going into the season, like I said, if we have one, I'm going based off the assumption. I'm going worst case scenario at this point because I think it's very likely we're not going to have either one of those guys. And then that's when you got to start to think who's going to be the guy that replaces DeAndre Baker. And they got a couple of options.
Right. I mean, I'm still not going to. I've never talked about guilt or innocence, whether they did it or they didn't do it. I've never talked about that. All right. And I'm still not going to, because that's not my place. Right.
Yeah.
I was there. I didn't see nothing. I have no knowledge of the situation aside from what comes out on Twitter. And about 65.5% of the things that come out on Twitter is bullshit anyway. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens and wait and see how it plays out because I don't want to be that guy that's like talking all this crazy stuff about these two players. And then if it comes out that they didn't do anything wrong, I look like a dumbass.
That's true. I don't blame you. I'm just right now. I'm just going with what I think the way it looks, but if nothing's concrete, like you said,
it don't look good.
Yeah. I'm just preparing for the worst right now. I'm just assuming worst case scenario, we're the Giants. It usually happens that way recently, that we're probably going to have to replace it, but maybe not. The other thing you got to think about is, did the New York Giants view it as a distraction, right? Even if he's, even if the case is going on, because it doesn't look as if this case is going to be come to a conclusion anytime soon. Now, maybe that'll change, but if this case is still going on from within season, this is a team that didn't want him in the virtual meetings because they thought he could be a distraction. Well, you would think it would be a distraction within season. So I'm preparing myself for the worst. I hope he's innocent. I hope that he's completely let off because I do think DeAndre Baker could have a bright future. He was the number one selected cornerback in the 2019 draft class, a guy that we all had very high hopes for, and a guy that I expected big things from this season. So I hope he's innocent, but I'm starting to lean towards preparing for him not to be with the New York Giants this year. And if that's the case, I'm leaning that Julian Love is probably going to be the first guy that gets that crack on the outside.
Said the same thing. I said the same thing. I think Julian Love is the candidate to take over as number 2. And then Sam Beal, if he can be healthy. I like Sam Beal. I watched some film on Sam Beal when we picked him up with the supplemental draft. And I was like, okay, this is a guy that could potentially, he's going to probably take a little bit because he's unrefined, but he's somebody who can probably come in and play well. And I mean, if Beal is okay from a health standpoint, he can come in a rotation and play. So I mean, like, I'm not super worried about any of it. I'm not super worried about any of it, to be completely honest with you. I still think, with or without Baker, our secondary is really damn good. It's really good. And then from a kicker standpoint, like, I like Aldrich Rosas, except for the fact that he doesn't buckle his chin strap. I hate that he doesn't buckle his chin strap. It pisses me off so much every time I see
you little things bother you sometimes. I've noticed.
With football, little things bother me.
Yeah.
Football, I mean, and that's the coach coming out of me, because if I was a coach on that sideline, I'd rip his helmet off his head, throw it into his chest, and say, "Buckle your fucking chin strap." I don't like that his chin strap is always right here. It really pisses me off.
Yeah,
that's me being a coach.
It's the simpler things in life with you. Pay attention to detail. Well, you're a military guy too. Pay attention to detail.
I mean, like, yeah, it's, you know what? It's funny because big things don't piss me off. Like, big things don't make me angry. They should make me angry, but typically, like, if something big happens, I'm kind of just like, all right, cool. But it's like little simple things that really make me angry. The common sense things piss me off more than anything else. So, like, yeah, that's just the way I feel. The chin strap pissed me off. Yeah, Jawad. Yeah, it pisses me off, man. Buckle your chin strap. And then I want to say, not last season, but the season before that, his helmet kept coming off. And
right.
I'm like, if you buckle your chin strap, you wouldn't have that problem, dude. Like, okay. I'm going to show this because I'm going to answer this question. Yes, I am a Yankees fan. I've been a Yankees fan for a really, really long time. It's because of my grandmother, because my grandmother was a huge baseball fan. She watched baseball all the time. I thought it was boring as hell as a kid. I kind of still think it's boring now, except for, when we're getting closer to playoffs. But I'm a Yankees fan, die hard, because of my grandma. Thanks, Grandma. Thanks for making me a Yankees fan.
Yeah, you're blessed with that. If I go back in time, I'd pick that team too. You're blessed with that.
The Yankees win quite a few championships, and I celebrated like I followed them the whole time, but I didn't. We're good again. We're good again.
What's gonna make baseball I think, for people that view it as boring, and I completely understand why people view it as boring. I grew up playing it. It was my favorite sport to play, so I love the sport. I love watching the sport, but I completely understand it's not for everybody. But what I think what's going to make it more entertaining this year, from someone like you who doesn't get into it until the playoffs, it's basically a pennant race from the start. I mean, you only have 60 games. You're starting basically from August 1st, and every game means a lot more than it normally does. It's a third of the season, so it almost has that playoff feel from the start. Mm-hmm. It's like every team's got a shot. It's a shortened season. Let's go. We got a pennant race right out of the gate. So I think it's actually going to be more entertaining this way. They'll never do this permanently. They're always going to have that 162 game schedule because statistics with baseball are like sacred. That's what people measure the sport by. But I think it's going to be a really entertaining year this year for the lightly the person who doesn't love baseball, who kind of just gets it into in the playoffs. I think it's going to be fun for people that.
You're going to be doing live streams for baseball games? Yeah,
I'm going to be doing the Mets games. Unfortunately.
Okay, cool. So then if when the Mets are playing down here, because the stupid Nationals are everything down here, and I'm like, well, but I hate everything Washington sports. So that's just me. But so what I'm going to do is this: when the Mets games are playing down here, when I can see the Mets games, I'll make sure that I have the live stream on. I'll probably turn the commentary of the game off, but I'll make sure I have the live stream on, and I'll make sure to let you know that I'm watching so you can teach me this shit. Because I don't know, like, when I'm watching football, I can break down the X's and O's as it happens. I can see, like, in my head, what's happening on the field. But baseball, all I know is one guy throws the ball, other guy hits the ball, and then some dude runs and catches the ball while the other guy runs around the bases. I don't know strategy.
I'll definitely.
Strategy behind it.
Yeah,
so you have to walk me through it so that I can.
That's my favorite part of the game. When I'm watching a baseball game, I'm a former pitcher, so I think what pitch is coming here, what pitch is he going to throw, what would be my strategy in this spot as a manager. So that to me is my favorite part of the sport of baseball is the strategy aspect. So yeah, I'll try to help you out with that.
Well, shit. Let's talk some baseball real quick. Then I didn't know you were a pitcher. What was your pitch?
Well, I mean, obviously, fastball, changeup, curveball. Yeah, I threw low to mid 80s when I was, in high school, probably about 83, 84, I topped out at. And yeah, I had a pretty good changeup, curveball. But yeah, I threw pretty hard. I actually pitched against Prince Fielder when we were 13. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, for those of you that don't know who that is, that's Cecil Fielder's son. He played for the Yankees. Yeah, he crushed me, but it was cool to the only reason I knew it was him is
he had a dinner off you.
yeah, but his dad was at the game. That's the only reason why I knew it was him, because he was 13 at the time. But Cecil was playing for the Yankees at the time, or I think it was 96 or 97. So I think he was still on the Yankees. So that's the only reason why I knew that. That it was Prince Fielder. But yeah, I got to pitch against him.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So when you're on the mound, right, and the catcher is giving you your signals, is it because the catcher knows the batter and knows like what pitches are good or not good against that batter?
Well, once you get to the, I mean, in the Major League Baseball, a lot of times now the manager will tell the catcher what to signal. It's not the way it used to be. But yeah, I mean, they'll have a book on each individual hitter, and each individual hitter will have a book on each individual pitcher, and they'll know what their tendencies are, and the background that goes into it is much more advanced than it used to be. You have all these sabermetric stats, so every team knows every little weakness of each individual player, whether it's the pitcher or the hitter. And yeah, that's definitely a really interesting part of the game for sure. Lefty pitchers tend to do better against lefty hitters, and vice versa, righty versus righty, because of the curveball. So yeah, I definitely suggest giving it a shot this year. Try to get into it. It's only a 60-game season. Maybe some of you guys will fall in love with it.
I'm gonna have to check it out because, like I said, I can watch the game, but it's almost like watching soccer. Like I have no idea what's happening. And my wife played soccer as a kid, and she's like, and I asked her, I was like, so we're like, I want to say maybe we're watching the Women's World Cup, and I was asking her like, can you understand what's happening right now? And she was like, yeah, pretty much. And I'm like, oh, no, but what I mean, like, okay, I know what's happening. Like, they're running around and kicking the ball, but do you understand, like, the strategy, what they're doing strategically? And she was like, yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, I'm not as good as I used to be at seeing what's happening, but yeah, I pretty much know what's happening there. And I was like, well, then what the hell's happening? I have no idea what's happening right now. So, like, yeah, I can't, when I'm watching baseball, if I'm watching soccer, sometimes with hockey, hockey's a little more exciting if you don't know what's going on. Yeah, because it's fast and people are hitting each other, and I'm all about people getting hit. But when it comes to like watching baseball or soccer, I don't know what's going on. So to me, it's kind of boring. And I can understand if somebody doesn't understand football and they're watching it and they're like, oh, the game stops too much. But I'm like, oh, but that's part of it. Like that's part of it. They're trying to figure out who's where and what's going on, and there's so much intricacies with football. So I'm gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out, and I'll watch the season because it's short.
No, man, definitely give it a shot. I love baseball, but like you said, the playoffs is where it really heats up. October baseball, when baseball is definitely a grind because it's 162 games. But once you get to the playoffs, I always say this. I think the baseball playoffs, and I'm not a hockey guy. Hockey playoffs are definitely very exciting as well. But I think the baseball playoffs are super exciting because every pitch, you're on the edge of your seat. Every pitch, the game could change. Where in basketball, you're kind of like, I'll wait till the last 3 minutes. And sometimes the game will be over by halftime. Where with baseball, to me, it's definitely more suspenseful. Let's put it that way when it gets to the playoffs. But I definitely understand the boring aspect because it's a slow moving game. It's a 162 game schedule. It's a grind. It's hard to, if you didn't grow up loving the sport, it's definitely hard to fall in love with it.
Okay. So what's your opinion on the sign stealing? Because I read somewhere that like sign stealing is a thing that everyone does. Like everyone's stealing signs all the time. But like I guess it was just more of a when we're talking about like the big scandals that are going on, it was a more, I guess, technically advanced way of stealing signs. What do you think about that?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, sign stealing when it comes to baseball is basically just a part of the sport, in terms of the traditional way.
Right.
Like if you could pick up a pitch, whether it's the way that he bends his arm. Maybe that signals that he's throwing a curveball. Like, you look for things, and obviously the catcher will signal, a 2 for a curveball, whatever. If you could find a way to do it, you're still, I guess, technically cheating. But if you do it from within the game, it was always viewed as, a kind of a gray area with the sport, that it's just accepted that teams do that. But what the Astros did, I mean, they were using televisions, they were using technology to pick up. So that was what went above and beyond. And obviously there's video evidence of them slamming the wall to signal that it's going to be a fastball and things like that. And obviously that was just way out of hand. But that's always been a part of the game. Teams have always tried to get a competitive advantage. Let's put it that way when it comes to stealing signs in baseball.
So then it's basically comparable, like in football, right? I can watch all your game film, and I can see what your tendencies are, and I can use that as a player on the field. Like when they line up like this, and the quarterback is making this specific call, I know that they're going to run this.
Yeah,
but I can't tape your practice. Yeah,
it's kind of like if you're the linebacker and you are able to pick up on their audible, and when they call out a certain audible, they're going to run to the right or whatever. You're able to pick up on a signal, and you know exactly what they're going to do. Or if you're a defensive lineman and you see the guy's knuckles a certain way on the offensive line, you could tell if he's going to be run blocking or pass blocking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things like that. Similar with baseball in that aspect. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, that makes sense. Because I didn't quite get why everybody was all in an uproar. Hold on a second. Boom. That's the comment of the day. Congratulations, Benjamin Wynn. You are the commenter of the day. Is trash bag garbage. They always cheat. They were cheating. They were probably stealing signs and using trash cans and all that stuff. They were doing that stuff. Comment of the day right there, boys. Hell yeah. Good stuff.
There you go, Benjamin. Yeah. And I see Jawad says that baseball has been built through its scandal. Yeah, I mean, baseball, you had the steroid scandal back in 2000 or around that area. Yeah, back in the day, you had, players have always cheated in baseball. And I really think players have always cheated in all sports, but you used to have pitchers throwing spitballs. People have always found a way to gain a competitive win.
What the hell is it? Like the spitball and the Vaseline? What is that?
Yeah. Okay. So when you watch a game, a lot of times pitchers will lick their fingers because they don't want to. They don't want to get blisters, or they don't want. It affects the way they're going to throw the ball. So they try, but then they have to wipe it. But if you add spit to the ball, it'll make the ball move in a certain way, which gives the pitcher too much of a competitive advantage. So that's why they outlawed the spitball. But players still find ways to cheat.
Okay, how much spit though? Like, are you like hocking super loogies on the ball, or is it just a little bit of spit?
I think it's just like licking your fingers and throwing it. Maybe I never did it, but I would assume it adds it makes it harder for the hitter to hit the pitch. So that's why
the Vaseline, is that the same thing?
I think what the Vaseline does, if I'm not mistaken, so somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, because I know I got some old timers in here. I got Jay in here. Hopefully still got a couple of others. But I think what the Vaseline did is when you lick your fingers and, say you got the Vaseline on your hat or whatever, you think that you're wiping off the spit. But what the Vaseline does is it keeps the spit on there. And it still allows you to throw the spitball. I think. I could be wrong on that. But I'm pretty sure that's what they do.
You know what? I really like how you're avoiding telling on yourself, Chris the Entertainer. I don't really know. I mean, I think if you lick your finger, maybe it affects the velocity. I don't know, though.
Well, spitball definitely adds. It makes it harder to hit the pitch. That's why they outlawed it. Yeah.
What are some other ways people cheat in baseball aside from sign stealing and spitballs? What else? What else do you look out for when you're playing?
What are ways that people cheat? I mean, obviously the cork bat. Players have done that. If you guys don't know what a cork bat is, they hollow out the bat and they put a cork in it. It makes the ball go further. So players have done that. I'm trying to think what else. Baseball is definitely a game where there's a lot of cheating that goes on. But the sign stealing has definitely always been the most prominent. But Houston took it to another level. Like it was absurd. Tana, what channel will the Yankees Mets? I don't know. I haven't looked, Kristaps Porzingis, but I am going to stream that. That'll definitely be. I got to talk to Bad Dog. We're probably going to alternate channels. Mets versus Yankees. They're playing back-to-back days. But this Saturday and Sunday, I think they play. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have that on the channel. I can't wait for baseball. I right now, I would stream anything. I would stream a ping pong match if it was a New York team. So I'm just looking forward to having baseball back. And I'll tell you what, Mets this year, I think Mets are going to be good. Yankees, of course, are really good, but I'm excited for the Mets. I think the Mets got a really good team. I think it's going to be a fun 60 games for both New York teams. And we play each other 9 times. I think, okay. No, 6 times.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out, man. So, do you think Houston should have gotten their championship taken away? Do you think it was so bad? Because I saw people calling for that, like, oh, they should have to give back the championship and blah 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 blah. I mean, do you think it was bad enough for them to have to?
I think I go see 8 Men Out. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie. Oh wait, I saw part of it. That you're talking about the White Sox scandal, blue collar. I haven't seen the whole movie though. Do I think they should take the World Series away? To be honest with you, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't. But the thing is this: you're not gonna. It's at the end of the day, what does it matter? Because it's not like you're gonna award it to the team that lost it. So, it's not like I care one way or the other. These people have been outed, and maybe they should have had a harsher penalty. I probably think that they should have. I don't even think anybody even is out for a year outside of, in terms of the players. So there probably should have been a harsher penalty to some of the people involved. I'd be completely for them taking away that championship because it is completely not legitimate in my opinion. So I completely get the uproar from Yankee fans because they prevented them from potentially winning a World Series. But the other thing I'll say is this. My guess would be other teams were doing it too. My guess would be Houston, maybe not to the exact extent that Houston was doing it, but I bet you there were other teams that were bending the rules further than people realized. And it's just that Houston got outed and got caught. What I've learned with baseball is people get away with as much as they can until they get caught. So my guess is there were other teams that were doing similar things. I
mean, listen, I can't get mad at trying to get a competitive advantage. You'll never see me be mad at somebody getting a competitive advantage. I've always been a guy that says learn all the rules so that you can bend them. Now you should never break them, but you can bend them. Bending the rules is okay in my world. So
Bill Belichick's the king of that.
Listen. Everybody gives the Patriots a bunch of crap for cheating or whatever, and I'm even been guilty of it. I've talked smack to Patriot fans about oh, your team cheats, but like every team in the NFL cheats. Yes, even your team, whoever it is in the comment section that's going to be like my team doesn't. Yes, even your team. Every team cheats. Okay, it's just the nature of the beast when you talk about sports. Every team cheats. Now, is it like a super violation of the rule? Probably not. But every team cheats. You ever been watching the game and you'll see the Giants actually did this. I thought it was hilarious. You ever been watching the game? The offense, your team's on defense and the offense is just running it down the field, just jamming it down your throat. They're running no huddle. The defense is all tired, and suddenly, for no reason, someone just falls.
Oh, stops the clock.
No, that's cheating.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing in soccer with the guys who flop.
Yeah, that's cheating.
Basketball.
You know what? It happens. You flop a little bit so you can get a call your way. It happens. It happens. Yeah,
I think there's a difference between that though and what the Astros did.
Yeah, I mean,
what the Astros did to me is unethical. There's a difference between trying to gain a competitive advantage, which is what I think the natural way of stealing signs is. Like you said, faking an injury in football, which they kind of changed the rules. They forced a team to use a timeout, I think, in the last 2 minutes.
But I've seen that happen. Everybody that's on the ground ain't hurt. Just so you know, in real life, on the football field, professional football field, everybody that's on the ground ain't hurt.
Of course,
but everybody else on the ground ain't hurt. Some of them are embarrassed.
Sometimes sometimes you'll be watching a game and the offense will just be in a rhythm, in football, and they're a fast-paced offense, no huddle offense, and the defense is getting worn down. So they'll tell a guy fake an injury, pretend that you're hurt so you can slow down the tempo of the game. So you definitely have players in football that try to gain a competitive advantage.
That's another comment of the day. Thank you, Jay, for your dig at that crap team in Washington. I like it. What do you mean no vaping? I'm in my house.
Let me ask you something about the Redskins.
Yeah.
News came out. It hasn't come out yet, but supposedly, according to a lot of people from within the Redskins, I guess, the people that write for the team, there's going to be a bombshell that drops, not just the team name. There's going to be a bombshell, and it's going to be bad news. That's what I read on Twitter. I've read that now for 2 or 3 days. Some people think there's going to be sex allegations. People in my Discord have told me that regarding people from within the organization. Other people have other ideas. I have no idea what it's going to be, but people have said it's definitely a very bad thing. So I'm really interested to see what that's going to be. That's supposed to drop soon. This is
regarding Washington,
the Washington Redskins specifically, and the writers have come out and said that has nothing to do with the name change. So that'll be interesting to see what that news is.
Huh? Did I read something? I don't think I read. I might have saw a blurb about it, but I never saw anything else.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up right now. Yeah, I'm gonna try to find it right now. But yeah, that there's something going on in Washington that there's gonna be a big story that drops.
Again?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what, but I'm sure people.
That organization is just a dumpster fire, man. And it doesn't have. See, okay, I hate the Redskins, right? Well, they're not the Redskins anymore. I hate the Washington team. And I hate the Washington team for a petty ass reason. Everybody knows by now. If you don't, we'll tell that story later. But the Washington team is a very, very historic team. And it's so sad that Snyder is the owner that he is, because like you're devaluing this historically good team. I mean, like when I say historically good, I don't mean historically good in terms of their play on the field, although they've won championships. But like there's a lot of history between this Washington team and the entire league, man, and they're just tarnishing it. So if the news that comes out is as bad as you're saying, it might be time to sell the team. And and you know what? Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe because like it seemed all right. I know we're in a weird place, right? I know 2020 is just this weird ass year, but they've been talking about this name change thing for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden now, oh, we changing our name. All of a sudden now.
Well, you and I both know why. It's because everybody pulled, FedEx pulled their money. That's why they changed it.
It was money, yeah. But FedEx didn't become woke.
That's what I don't understand that either. I was talking about that with Bad Dog when it first happened on our Talking Giant show. Is I don't understand why now, like you said, because now there's so many other more, and I'm not saying it's not important. If people are offended by that name, it's sports. Change the name. Okay, I'm not gonna be one of these people that stands on my high horse and says, "Oh, it's a travesty. They've had that name." No, you know what? At the end of the day, it's sports. If it's going to offend people, change the name.
Change the name.
Yeah, but
now
it wasn't. I don't understand the timing of it. Because like you said, you've got the whole George Floyd situation. You've got COVID. We're in a very
2020 is a motherfucker, yo.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a weird time for it just to pop out of nowhere for this to become a huge topic.
I mean, I remember I was having some conversations with some people that I work with who are fans of the Washington team, and I was just like, why now? Like it doesn't make any sense that all of a sudden FedEx and all these other places are saying we're going to pull all your money and we're going to pull all your merchandise and we're going to. Why now? So if something bad happened, are they doing this so that the team can be sold? Are they doing this because an owner said, I will not buy this team while they're named this name? I mean, I don't know.
It's possible.
It doesn't make any sense why now, after years. I remember I lived in Fort Worth, Texas. And oh my God, I can't believe I'm brain farting the name of the Washington Redskins player.
What year?
Played for Penn. He played for Penn State. He actually, if I remember correctly, he signed to the Giants and then got hurt.
Are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
He's an edge rusher, linebacker.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. I know. I think I know you're talking about.
Somebody's gonna say his name in the chat. Somebody, Jay, what's his name? You know everything Giants. But
this is like 8 years ago, maybe.
LeVar Arrington.
Yep, that was it. LeVar Arrington.
LeVar
Yep.
Arrington.
Yep.
So LeVar Arrington worked for one of the sports radio, like sports talk radios in Dallas. And I remember that he did an interview with Dan Snyder. And someone was like, asked him, like, yo, why didn't you ask him about the name change thing? And he was like, because that's not what we're talking about. And I'm not gonna bring that up because that's not important. So this was probably 2000. When did I go to Korea? I went to Korea in 2009. So this was probably 2008, 2007. Y'all been, at least from the first time that I really heard some legitimate talk about it, it's over 10 years ago. So why now? And now you tell me about this big crazy news that's getting ready to drop at
no, I don't know exactly what it is. Nobody, some people have speculated that it's big news though. That supposedly it is big. People have come out and said that it is going to be bad. It's going to be perceived as very bad and has nothing to do with the name change.
Maybe this is connected to it. Maybe they're trying to. I don't even want to speculate. But it would make sense if the name change ties into this. It would make total sense. But this is kind of the first I've heard of it. I remember seeing like a little blurb, but I was probably too busy focusing on telling Bigger Mike that his girl's average or something, and I missed it. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's been, like you were saying though, Snyder's been like, he's one of the worst owners in all of sports. I mean, he's been atrocious for the Redskins. And like you were saying, I remember growing up as a kid, Redskins were a great franchise when I was young. I mean, they won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks. I only remember one of them, but they won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks in like a 5 or 6, 7 year span. They were the best team in the NFC. Them, the 49ers and the Giants, really, during that time period. So, and they went from that, and since then they've been nothing.
The pride of the NFL is Doug Williams. All right?
Yeah.
Williams. This is a guy that was always giving the Super Bowl trophy to the champion, like Doug Williams. This is a historic franchise. What are you doing with this franchise? So I mean, I don't know. We gonna just have to wait and see, man. It's crazy to me, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this team. I don't know what their name is going to be. I hope that the name is a good name. I hope they don't. I mean, actually, no, I don't. I hope the name sucks.
I saw what Jay said, and I hope that is not the case. He says Snyder was probably a client of Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh,
I hope not.
Listen,
that would be a bombshell.
Yo, I'm not even going to touch that.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
I'm not even going to touch that one. We'll let the chips fall where they may on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So tell me, man, what game, if there is a season, what game are you most excited about?
Giants. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to leave the division games out of it because we play those teams every year. Of course, the Eagles-Cowboys game I get amped up for, but outside of the division, I'm really looking forward to that Browns game. I'm really looking forward to seeing Odell Beckham come back to MetLife Stadium. I was never a huge Beckham guy. I know a lot of people are. I know a lot of people love Beckham. And I rooted for Beckham when he was a Giant. I loved him when he was a Giant, but I was never a big Beckham guy. And there is nobody that I want to beat more this year. And there is no receiver that I'd love to see shut down more than Odell Beckham. So I've got that game circled on my calendar. And of course, all the big teams we play, the 49ers, the Bucs game I'm looking forward to, Brady. Probably his last time we ever get to play him. So that'll definitely be a highly anticipated game, week 8. You got the Ravens. That'll definitely be a fun game, even though we'll probably get killed. But, there's definitely a lot of big games, but the Browns game to me sticks out. The Arizona game is going to be fun too. Kyler Murray, Isaiah Simmons, the guy that we passed on. So there's definitely a lot of interesting games, but I'll go with the Browns game.
I mean, I am excited about the Browns game. I think that game's going to be super interesting. That game's going to be super interesting just because, the return of Odell. Oh boy, let's see what happens there, man. I hope we shut his ass down. I hope the Browns are terrible.
I hope that Odell Beckham has 1 catch for -1 yards and a fumble. I don't want him to get shut out. I want him to have a catch for -1 yards and a fumble.
He fumbles. He
Yeah.
goes for -1 yards and fumbles.
Matter of fact, I want him to have one catch, -1 yards, a fumble, and a pass attempt for a pick six. That's what I'm hoping that. Yeah, because he did that with the Giants a couple of times.
So when he fumbles, is that a scoop and score for us?
Yes, two defensive touchdowns off both times that he's involved in a play. Maybe a fight with the kicking net. You know,
holy shit, I didn't realize you were so damn petty. That's petty as hell, and I love it. Oh,
I would not be upset with that outcome at all.
That's great. You know what? I am excited. I'm excited for the Tampa Bay game because I really hope that if we don't win a lot of games, I hope the one game that we win. Like, I hope that Tampa Bay game is a reminder to Tom Brady that we own that ass. Like, yeah. That's what I want. I want the Giants to beat the hell out of the Tampa Bay Buck, like embarrass them. And you know what would be even better? Like, you know what would be even better is if Tampa Bay won every game except that one.
That would be pretty cool. 15-1.
If Tampa Bay won every game except that one game. Just a reminder, Tom.
I'll tell you what, out of our 4 toughest games outside of the division, I think that's one of them. I think it's the Bucs, the Niners, the Ravens, and the Seahawks. Out of our 4 toughest games, I think that's the most winnable. It's at home. We're playing Thursday night the week before, so we're going to have an extra 4 days rest. They're traveling from Las Vegas. So I think the Giants have a lot of things in their favor going into that game. I think the Giants are going to have an opportunity to win that game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is better than maybe some people give it credit for, but I think we'll be able to put up points on them. I think we'll be able to run the football on them. I think we're going to have a chance to win that game. I think a lot of people just pencil that in as a loss. I might pick the Giants that week. I really do feel like the Giants have a lot going in their favor going into that game, even though I think the Bucs are going to be pretty good this year. If I had to pick an upset this year, I think that's the one. So I think we have a pretty good chance to beat the Bucs.
I love this comment right here. I'm going to let you read
Let me see. I just want to see Dexter Lawrence break through and stick the shit out of Baker. Yet Baker still. Oh God, yeah. I was talking about Odell Beckham, guy, and I used to like Baker Mayfield. Okay, when he first got drafted, I liked him. I liked his attitude. I would have been happy if the Giants drafted him. He was a leader. But since he's come into the league, guy's had a reputation for not being the hardest worker. He's called out the Giants fan base. He's called out the New York Giants.
What was that about?
He called out Daniel Jones. I can't. He might be public enemy number 1. So it's not just about Odell Beckham. It's also about Baker Mayfield. So I hope Mayfield goes 1 for 30, the one completion being a fumble by Beckham, with about 5 interceptions. That's what I'm hoping with Baker Mayfield. and maybe like
turn into a game of Madden real quick. This turned into a game of Madden. Hey, you know what? This is a good segue. I haven't talked about this, even though I am so angry at EA. I am so pissed off at EA for what they're doing to Madden. But I saw you tweeted about it, and I know you don't really care.
Yeah,
because you're not a Madden guy.
Yeah,
but I saw you tweeted about it. So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to kind of speak your mind on Saquon's rating in Madden.
Yeah, I'm not a Madden guy. I don't play video games, but I know obviously a lot of my subscribers are, and I know obviously a lot of people on Twitter are. So I saw the story. I'm like, I'll talk about it. He's obviously being underrated, and then I find out that the guy that does the ratings is a Cowboys fan, and then I remember back to last year, Daniel Jones. They ranked below Tyree Jackson, a guy that went undrafted. He's no longer in the league. So there is a clear bias against the New York Giants. And then they changed back his ranking the next day. He went from 89 to 91. Still wasn't high enough. I think he should be the second. I'll be fair and say that McCaffrey should be number 1 based off of what he did last year. And maybe Barkley should be 3. Maybe you could say Derrick Henry. But
top 5.
Definitely top 5. And when I see that he's tied with – I think he was tied with Mixon. And when you look at Mixon's numbers last year compared to Barkley, and Barkley had a bad year last year. They had the same amount of scrimmage yards. Mixon played in 3 more games. They had the same amount of touchdowns, and Barkley averaged more yards per carry. So what? And it was just ridiculous. It was ridiculous where he was ranked.
I'm going to tell you this it's with bias, but I know for a fact that the ratings people over at EA Sports purposely make the Giants terrible. They have done it since, I want to say, Madden 08 was the last time that the Giants were good in Madden. For some weird-ass reason, and I don't know if anybody else plays Madden as much as I do and plays with the Giants as much as I do, but for some reason, Eli Manning's face on Madden has always looked fucked up. He always looks like this. And I've noticed it, and I'm like, yo, why does Eli Manning's face look like that? I know he did. I know when they did this face capture, I know he didn't make that face. Now maybe Eli did because Eli makes jokes, so maybe he made that face, and I wouldn't be surprised because do you remember when Eli was on Saturday Night Live?
Oh yeah, it was great. It was hysterical.
So do you remember when they did the touchdown celebration mocap?
Well, didn't they do that was when they were simulating Madden, right?
Right. And he did the sandwich, he dropped it on the floor.
Yeah.
That celebration was actually in Madden. If you ran a touchdown with Eli Manning, he would pull out the imaginary sandwich, he'd go to take a bite, he'd drop it, he'd look around, pick it up, and eat the sandwich. That was actually in Madden. The first time I saw that celebration, because who's scoring a touchdown with Eli Manning, on the ground? Who's running?
Right.
I just so happened to I don't know. I think
he had a QB sneak from the 1 yard line.
QB sneak. Boom! I got in there and he did it, and I went, what? so that celebration was actually in Madden. So I wouldn't be surprised if baby Eli made a stink face on purpose.
Right.
But I know for a fact that they have always made the Giants bad. Now, granted, the Giants have been bad, but they always make the Giants super bad. It was confirmed when they gave Daniel Jones such a bad rating and then barely fixed the rating. Because I want to say he was at a 67, and then they changed it most of the way through the season. They changed it, and I think they made him a 72. And it was he's way better than that in terms of his ratings. So the rating adjuster, he's biased. He hates the Giants. Oh, by the way, the Cowboys are always super OP in Madden. Always.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised. The guy that does it's a Cowboys fan.
Oh, it was a 70. Thanks, Sports Critic. It was a 70. The Cowboys are always super OP for no damn reason. It doesn't matter how good or how bad they are always super OP. And honestly, it's definitely biased. 100% biased.
Well, I'm just
mad at EA for screwing over connected franchise mode.
The fact that, and what's going on, Sports Expert? Thanks for popping in. The fact that he was rated below Tyree Jackson tells you everything that you need to know. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, it was perceived that he was a reach, but everybody had him at least as a early second round pick at the worst. And Tyree Jackson didn't get drafted. The fact that Tyree was ranked above Daniel Jones before the year started tells you everything you need to know. I mean, he was still, at worst, Daniel Jones was the 4th best quarterback going into the season last year. You had Drew Lock. Some people may have argued. You had Dwayne Haskins and, of course, Kyler Murray. So maybe some people would have said Daniel Jones was the 4th best. Tyree Jackson didn't get drafted. So the fact that he had a lower rating tells you everything you need to know about what they do to the New York Giants.
Hey, what's up, Sports Expert? I appreciate you coming here. Hey, man, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to Sports Expert. He's got great content. Anybody in here that's a content creator, please feel free to plug your channel in the chat. Put the link in there. I don't got no blue checks. I don't got no mods. I'm not that important yet. But please spam your damn links in your channels and your Twitters and all that. Spam it in my channel. This is our channel. I keep saying that. This channel belongs to us.
There you go.
Put your stuff in my. Even if I get big, I always want people to spam their damn links to their channel in my chat and tell people to subscribe unless your content is ass. If your content's ass, we can't rock. All right?
But how are you gonna know if everybody's content's ass when they pop in?
I'm a look. Like I'll have I'll have like intel guys. Hey man, check his channel, make sure it's not ass. And then if it's ass, then he gets blocked. And go leave the stream, go check his channel.
Now, what type of content? Because I mean that's subjective. What type of content for you is ass?
Well, if it's any content involving that average ass girl Bigger Mike talks about, that's ass. If it's got anything to do with what was that guy Jeff Garcia and Booth, that's automatically ass. If it's got anything to do with bland food, it's ass. If it's like really terrible music, it's ass.
Yeah.
All right. And when I say, because music is subjective, but when I say really terrible music, like it's mixed and mastered terribly and it just sounds bad, it's ass. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. And I know because I'm a musician, so I know.
Oh, I didn't know you were a musician. What do you play?
That's why I got all this. That's why I got all this equipment. This place doubles as my low key recording studio that I don't use right now because I'm kind of not doing anything musically. I did hip hop for a really long time. I can do mixing and mastering, studio engineering. I can't play. I've never been classically trained to play any instruments, but I can play the piano by ear. I can play the drums, but I'm not very good. I used to play the saxophone when I was a kid. I was born into a musical family. It's kind of in my blood, so I can't I can't escape it. But I don't really do anything musically right now. Okay, like this, like that content. That content is ass.
Yeah,
get it out of here. That's ass.
I like his picture, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean the picture's cool, but the content's ass.
Yeah, the content's ass. You're gone.
So yeah, I mean, like I don't really do a whole lot now. But I did hip hop real heavy for a while. I dropped an album, it flopped. It flopped. It wasn't that it wasn't a bad. It wasn't that it was bad music. It was just that I didn't have the fan base or the support. And so I sold. I made by hand. I made 250 copies. I'm talking like CDs with liner notes and the whole 9 yards. I put them all together by hand, and then I went and I paid to get them shrink wrapped. I sold about 200 of them, gave away about 50 of them, put them online and whatnot. But it just didn't go anywhere. Which is fine, right? Because I wasn't trying to do it as I don't want to be famous.
Well, you took a shot. You did something you loved, and then you see how people.
I enjoy making music. I don't want to be famous, man. I say too much fucked up shit. Listen. The moment this channel gets big, I'm getting canceled, y'all. Just so you know, I'm gonna enjoy the ride for about a week and a half, and then somebody's gonna go real deep into my Twitter and find something that I said, a bunch of years ago as a joke, and they're gonna be like, "You see what Pest the Analyst said? Cancel his ass." And I'm gonna be like, "All right, I'm deleting my channel, y'all. It's been fun."
that's like what's his name? EDP now, right? Everybody's trying to
cancel EDP. I'm not gonna talk about. Listen,
no, I'm not talking about it. I just thought about it when you were.
But everybody trying to cancel EDP, and I'm like, look, they're coming for you, man. You got too big.
The
moment you get too big, man, they're gonna knock your ass down. So I mean, listen, I don't want to be famous. Because I'm getting canceled in a heartbeat. Everything that I've ever done bad in my life is going to come up. Every person that I've ever slept with is going to be like, "Oh, I had sex with her." It's just going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous.
What's going on? I see Rich is in here. What's going on, Rich? Thanks for being here, buddy.
This is a good question. I'm going to answer this question really quick. I grew up. So I was born in 1981. I came up on the 80s. I came up on 80s hip hop. All right. I came up on things like Houdini. I came up on Big Daddy Kane. I came up on Slick Rick. I came up on LL Cool J. And like that. That's what I remember from the that's what I remember from being like really little, not really understanding music yet, but just hearing it. You know, Yo MTV Raps on MTV when MTV was about music. Like I remember when MTV was about nothing but music. And then I fell in love with hip hop in the '90s. That's when I super fell in love with hip hop. Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z, NWA.
I met but I met two rappers. My first job I ever had was at a movie theater, and Busta Rhymes came up. I think he's from Long Island, if I'm not mistaken. And he just walked in with his kids and got popcorn for me. So I served popcorn to Busta Rhymes. And then I also met Snoop Dogg. I've met Snoop Dogg twice. I didn't talk to him. My mom works for the government. When I was younger, I forgot what year it was, but they were having the All-Star game in Washington, D.C., and my mom was there it just so happened she was there for a conference. So I went there to visit her. I didn't go there for the All-Star game, but he was there for the All-Star game, and he was staying in the same hotel as my mom. And I went in the elevator, and as soon as I get in, he walks in with like a bunch of his posse. So we were in the same elevator. And then a second time, it's just random that I was in the same area as Snoop Dogg twice in two completely random areas. I was flying back from a family vacation we went to the West Coast, Colorado, I think, or it might have been, we kind of road tripped. We went out there. We drove in Colorado, Arizona. I don't remember where we were flying back from, but he was on my flight. And I see him, and he sat all the way in the back of the plane. He didn't see, you would think a guy like that would be in first class. He was sitting coach. So yeah, I saw him. He was on my flight. So yeah, I've been in his presence, I guess, twice.
So I highlight this comment because Run DMC holds a special place in my heart. The very first hip hop piece of music I owned was a old school. It was vinyl, the small one. I think was that 35, whatever it's called. But it was a small vinyl, the one you need an adapter, and it was Walk This Way on the A side, My Adidas on the B side. I bought it for My Adidas, and I remember I went to my grandmother's house. I was in downtown Plainfield, New Jersey, PLFD Stand Up, and I had bought it from the store called Sound Express. I'll never forget it. And my mom took me to my grandmother's house, and I played My Adidas for about an hour. And my grandmother was like, "If you don't turn that shit off." So that was the first piece of music, anything that I owned was Run DMC, My Adidas, Walk This Way on the A side. I also saw people talking about Ghetto Boys, rock with them, NWA, rock with them. Somebody said that Busta Rhymes was their favorite as a kid. Busta Rhymes is always been my favorite. I always adopted his flow style. So a lot of people would say that I sound similar to Busta Rhymes as a rapper, and that's the ultimate compliment to me because I love Busta Rhymes. I was Wu-Tang Clan. Yep, I see you are.
Yeah, Wu-Tang. I remember Wu-Tang Clan as a kid. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wu-Tang. I love. So I love all music. I love all forms of music. I even listen to a little bit of country. I'll even rock out some country every now and then if the song is good. And I can nod my head to it. I like all music, and I'm kind of weird because I hear music differently than most people. And the best way for me to explain the way I hear music is if you made a lasagna, right, in a clear pan,
right,
like a glass pan, and like you pull the lasagna out. And you look at the side of the pan, you can see all the different layers of lasagna, right?
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with this.
That's how I hear music. When I hear music, it splits into all the different instruments, and I can hear every single instrument independently together. So I hear things that other people don't hear. I'll be in the car with my wife, and I'll be like, "Oh man, that was dope." And she was like, "What was dope?" And I'm like, "That sound right there." And then I'll like do the sound with my mouth. And she had never heard that sound before in the song until I pointed it out. So I'm cursed with music coursing through my veins.
Selective hearing or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I have that ability. My cousin who's younger than me actually came to visit me, and we were in the car driving, and he was like, I noticed something, and I was like, what? He was like, I hear music different, and I'm like, what do you mean? Because I knew what he was talking about, but I wanted to see if he would explain it to me. And he explained to me how he's starting to hear these intricate details of music. Now, he's about 25 or 26. And I was in my early 20s when I discovered that I could hear music that way, maybe a little bit younger. But he was telling me about it, and I was like, oh, that's cute, man. You developed your superpower. Because I always refer to it as my family's superpower is being able to hear music differently. That's what we can do.
It's pretty cool.
So,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I sound like a dungeon dragon. Sound like a dungeon dragon? Is that what Busta Rhymes sounds like? A dungeon dragon?
Dungeon Dragon. I'm trying to.
R.I.P. Prodigy, MOP. I rock with MOP. I rock with them heavy. What else, guys? Hey, hit us with some questions. We'll go probably for a little bit longer. How much more time you got?
Whatever you want to do, man. Whatever you want to do. I know Bad Dog's going. He might even be. I don't know when he go. When does he go?
I think he go. Hold on a second. Let me look.
Not that it matters. We'll hang out, but
yeah. Let me look. Bad Dog. Are you live yet? Is Bad Dog live yet? He is not live yet.
Probably 9. He probably goes live at 9.
I think he was supposed to be going at 9. And I really want, like, seriously, everyone that is in here, we got 20 people in here. I appreciate all 20 of you. I would talk to y'all if there was one of you in here. I'd still be doing this because I love y'all. This is our channel. I need all 20 people. So it should be around 22, okay? Including me and Mr. Entertainer. When this is done, you take your ass right over to Bad Dogs. All right, you go right to Bad Dog. I wish this was like Twitch where I could like raid, because then I would raid Bad Dog and we would just all go over there.
You could do it. You could do that on YouTube, can't you?
I don't think so. I've never seen it done, because otherwise, if it was, I'd be raiding all kinds of people, and I'd be like, hey, tell. So here's an inside joke. You guys who are new here, this is the inside joke. All right. So this is a thing that we're going to do as a community. All right, because this is our channel. When you go, except for like Tainer and Bad Dog, they all know who I am already, okay? Their fan base knows me. But when you watch YouTube videos, okay, I want you to go into the comment section and I just want you to say, PTA Sports sent me. All right? I want this to become a thing where on random ass channels it says PTA Sports sent me for no reason at all right? That's what I need y'all to do. So I'd be raiding channels and I'd be having them just go in there and say PTA Sports sent me, because that's our thing now.
There you go.
Okay, let me see. Bad Dog. Oh man, I
think they're saying 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. That's what I thought too. I thought it was 9 o'clock. So yeah. What do you guys got, chat? Hit us with some questions. When are you going to talk about Peter? Oh yeah, you know what? Peter's
Jason Peters signed with the Eagles brought him back.
Jason Peters, yeah, he's going to be at right guard. I mean, I guess, man, Jason Peters was a beast tackle. I'm pretty sure he's going to do just fine at guard.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good move by the Eagles. I mean, obviously, their guard went down, so even though Peters is 40, he's definitely, he's got familiarity with that line. Obviously, he's played there for the last however many years, so it's actually it makes perfect sense to bring him back. So I think it was a good pickup by the Eagles. It's happening. What's going on, Giants Alliance, man? Thank you for being here, buddy.
Hey, Nick the Vic, you can rate on YouTube. How do you rate on YouTube? What do you do?
I've seen people do it where they'll have if I'm streaming a game, for example. You don't usually do it when you're doing something like this, but during the NBA playoffs, say I'm streaming, because I'll be doing some of those games. Say I'm doing Sixers versus the Bucks, and Fisk or Bad Dog is doing the same game. At halftime, you say, go on over to Bad Dogs, subscribe, check out his channel, and then come on back. So people do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, on Twitch, you can actually, so they could be watching us right now, and then I can click on something, and I haven't done it because I'm just a viewer on Twitch. I don't have a Twitch channel yet. Maybe one day I will. But you can click a button, and it will actually send everyone in the chat, everyone that's there, it'll automatically send them to that other person's channel all at once. Boom. And
well, they don't have that.
Yeah, and it'll actually, I guess it'll tell the streamer, because it actually happened today, because I was watching Dubby this morning. He was playing Call of Duty and he's trash. You tell him I said it. You tell him I said he's a bot in Call of Duty. Hey Nick the Vic, if you're on PlayStation, man, yeah, I'll play you in Madden. Anybody plays Madden on PlayStation 4, you need to hit me up on Twitter. Okay. Hold on a second. Hit. Oh, okay. There you go. Boom. Hit me up on Twitter. That's my Twitter handle. Hit me up on Twitter. If you play Madden on PlayStation 4, hit me up. I'm a PlayStation 4 guy. I own an Xbox, but I play on PlayStation 4. I don't even touch my Xbox. But yeah, so I was watching W, and he was playing Call of Duty, and he was like, man, I got to find somebody because he was done playing. He was like, I got to find somebody who's good on Call of Duty. And he's started search some stuff. And then he clicked the button, and suddenly we was on some other guy's channel, and he had like a low channel count. And he was like, holy shit, W just rated me, y'all. Oh, this is big, man. Oh, thanks, W. I appreciate you. And all of a sudden we was watching this other guy. So they don't have that in YouTube, but if they did,
it's
convenient. I would just be like, all right, cool. We're going over to Bad Dogs channel. Let's go talk some shit. And we go.
That's one thing I'm going to add to my channel. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Probably. We'll see. I'm definitely going to add not Madden content where I talk about Madden or anything like that, but I'll probably do like a weekly stream where I play a YouTuber in Madden. That I plan on doing. And I'll definitely play you. I have PS4, so that within I don't know when, but eventually I plan on doing that.
Hey, also to the Madden players, because as W would refer to me as, I am a CFM nerd. I play connected franchise mode. I actually run a 32-man connected franchise mode. So if you're interested in playing in a 32-man connected franchise mode, I want to say I probably have about 10 teams open right now because we're at the end of Madden cycle. But we're gonna play Madden 20 for a little bit before we make a decision as if we're gonna go to Madden 21 or not. But if you're interested in connected CFM, man, hit me up on Twitter as well. I got like 10 teams open. Y'all can come in and y'all can play Madden with me, man. And we'll make that happen, man. I like interacting with you guys. So we'll play some games, and I'll tell you that you're trash.
It sounds like you would kick my ass.
I'm not. I'm okay, man. I'm not great. I have a live stream about sports and politics in the future. Would that be something you'd be interested in? Yes, absolutely. TSR. You know what? 100%. I'll come on there and I'll talk. I'm not going to show my face on that one.
Sports and politics. I wouldn't show my face.
I know exactly what you're talking about. We had a conversation about this. Me and TSR. We talked about this. I'm in, but I'm not going to show my face on that one. I'm gonna have my camera off and we can just talk about it. But yes, I'm in. 100%.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm always in. What'd you say?
Hey, TSR, can Taylor come? Are we doing a roundtable? Or are we just what are we doing? Because we should have if we do this, we should have like more than just you and me. I don't know how many people you're planning on having.
What's the topic?
We had a conversation about the fact that the NFL is going to play the Black National Anthem. This was not on camera. This conversation.
Right.
But so it's kind of stuff like that. You should call it shut up and dribble. You should call it shut up and dribble. But I'm in. I'm 100% in. I don't wait till you hear Tana in the club. Tana, you be in the club, man? Let me find out you be in the club, Tana.
We'll go to a bar. We'll go to a bar one day.
Oh shit! I'm gonna get drunk with Tanner, y'all. I'm sleeping on the couch, just so you know. I'm passing out on your fucking couch. Because or unless you coming down here and then we can party down here, and then I got a spare bed. I got several spare rooms that you can sleep in. Hey man, I'm stunting for the gram because my house is big as hell. All right, but I worked hard for this house. But yeah, man.
No, Rich, I'll come on for that. I mean, I'm not gonna. Here's what I'll say, Rich. I'm not gonna advertise it to my channel. I'm not gonna tell my subscribers to go over to it because I know that people are sensitive to stuff like that. But I have no. I'm always interested in talking about stuff like that off of YouTube, and I don't mind going on somebody else's channel and talking about my opinion with it. But I'm not gonna advertise it.
TSR, you're not gonna lose your channel, man. This is gonna be a good ass conversation.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot. So this is something that I said to folks on. I think it might have been my last live stream or the one before that, where I said, you shouldn't live in I said hyperbolic chamber, and I meant to say an echo chamber. You shouldn't live in an echo chamber, right? You should talk to people who have different opinions about you, or have different opinions than you. I mean, you should talk to these people, and it doesn't have to be an argument. It doesn't even have to be a debate. You can just have a conversation, because one of the ways that we fix this world is if we just start listening to each other. We don't got to agree. We don't got to have the same views.
I say that all the time. I'm like,
just listen.
We're in a political climate now where, I mean, the country.
I see you. I know you wasn't gonna miss a stream. I see you.
What's going on, man? This country's always been incredibly divided when it comes to politics, but we're at a political climate now where it's out and about, and everybody's so divided that you can't even have a conversation about anything regarding politics without getting into a fight. And you're right. Nobody listens to anybody. That's always been a big problem in this country, but it's like 10 times what it was 4 or 5 years ago. Like it's never been like this since I've been alive.
Yeah. Like I said, I enjoy having conversations with people that don't believe the same things that I believe, which, by the way, my beliefs are not like anything super crazy or anything like that. But like, I enjoy having these conversations with people that don't believe what I believe, or vice versa, because typically I walk away from that conversation learning something.
Right.
And that, listen, life is about growth, and it's about experience, and it's about knowledge. And if you only want to hear one type of knowledge, you ain't learning shit.
Right.
So you gotta be willing to open your mind and listen to people that have different opinions. That's about as far as I'm going to get on world views on this channel, right? Because that's not what this channel is for. But y'all got my Twitter, and you can always come at me. All right, I'm on there. I don't know. Listen, and I'm not saying this negatively, right? I'm not saying this negatively at all, because I love this guy. I can't wait to talk to Kid Blue.
Oh, Kid Blue, yeah. Is Kid Blue going to be on that?
I don't know. I put an invitation out there for him. He might hate my guts. I don't know. Me and him have had some conversations on Twitter. I can't wait to talk to Kid Blue. I really can't, man. Like, and I hope that I get the opportunity to talk to Kid Blue off camera. I want to talk to Kid Blue off camera, because Kid Blue has some opinions that I don't necessarily agree with. But I want to hear his side. I want to hear his point of view. I want to hear what he has to say. I'm excited to do it. So, Kid Blue, if somehow this gets to you, I'm not throwing shade at you, brother. I love your work. I'm a subscriber.
I met Kid Blue. I met Kid Blue.
I love you, Kid Blue. And even if your views don't mesh with my views, that don't change how much I love you, Kid Blue. I'm not throwing shade. I can't wait to talk to you off camera. So maybe I can learn something from you, and maybe you can learn something from me, because that's how we get better.
There you go. I met Kid Blue. He's a great guy. But I based on some of the things I've heard him say on his channel, yeah, I probably disagree with a lot of his.
That's okay.
Yeah, but he's a great guy. I've met Kid Blue once, but I hung out with him for a couple of days. Great guy.
Yeah. Listen, I have so many friends whose opinions I don't agree with, and it doesn't change how close a friend. Like I like when I say I have really good friends, I have like really good friends that I would do anything for, and our opinions don't mesh, and that's okay. We still good friends. You don't have. Yeah. That's the problem, is that people think that because you disagree with someone that you can't be cool. I'm cool with a lot of people I don't agree with. I really am. So like that's, I'm listen, if I can change, there's 19 people in here now, because what's the name? Just Newman, he just slipped out to go hit Bad Dog channel. But if I can get 19 people, the 19 people that are in here to think like me, then I'm doing some good in the world, because listen, you need to not live in an echo chamber. You need to talk to everybody and get everybody's opinion and learn from their opinion, even if you don't agree with their opinion. Yeah, and that's how we get better.
You need to listen to people. I agree with that. Giants Alliance says, if fans were allowed to go to the Giants games this year, would you would you go? I would not, personally, unless there was a vaccine. Like if I knew if I get sick, and it's not about me, it's about other people that I could spread it to, older people that I think it could actually really affect. But yeah, I wouldn't put myself in that situation. I could watch the game on TV. It's just not the year to be going for me. Everybody's different. Some people have their beliefs. They believe that it's not real or it's not nearly as bad as people are making it out to be. I don't see the need to put myself in a risk like that. Putting myself in an environment with 80,000 people, or even if it was 20,000, limited capacity, and catching the virus or spreading the virus to somebody else. Because a lot of times when you have this virus, you don't even know you have it because you don't always show the symptoms. So I just don't think it's the appropriate time. I actually don't. I want to play football, but I don't want stadiums opened up. I don't think it's a good idea. As weird as that's going to be for me to watch empty stadiums with games, we could sacrifice a year's worth of going to sporting events to try to cap this virus. So I would not go to a game, regardless.
I agree. I said to my wife, "Oh man, okay, wait a minute, time out. I have to show this comment." Jay, see, this is why I like you, Jay. Everyone that's in here right now, everyone, especially you, TSR. I don't know if you follow this guy's videos, but Bo of the Fifth Column, I love this guy's work, and you're going to be very surprised when you see what this guy looks like. You're going to be very surprised when you see what this guy looks like and the way he talks and hear his opinions. I don't agree with everything that he says, but I agree with most of the things that he says, at least from a standpoint of, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see why you feel that way. That makes sense. But that's me agreeing with, okay, that makes sense. If you guys haven't watched this guy's stuff, watch Bull of the Fifth Column. He's smart as hell too.
I'll have to check him out. Never heard of him.
He's smart as hell. I like watching him.
What kind of content is he?
He talks about he's kind of political, right? But he's he's like a Constitution guy. Talks about the Constitution a lot. Talks about what's a glitzy goblin? I don't even know what the hell that is. That's ridiculous. You're just putting words together that don't mean anything. He's more political. He's a little more political. But just some of the things that he says makes a lot of sense, especially when it comes to like the Constitution, when it comes to laws. That's a guy that you can go there and even if you don't agree, you can just listen to him and know, okay, this guy is smart. I can see why that makes sense, and you can walk away from it even if you don't agree, going, okay, cool, food for thought. I'm gonna keep it moving. So
yeah, I'm fine with that. Even if I disagree with an opinion, it's what I say about my channel on YouTube. A lot of times people, even though it's apples and oranges, I'm not saying that my channel's political at all, but it's an opinion channel, just like politics. It's an opinion. And sometimes people come into my channel like, I don't agree with you a lot on the things that you have to say. I say, that's fine. I say as a consumer, I almost would prefer, as long as it's backed up, like you just said, this guy that you're talking about, maybe you don't agree with a lot of the things that he has to say, but you respect his channel because he backs it up. He provides facts for why he has the opinions that he has. Yes. And that's what I was trying to do in my channel. You might not agree. Yes. 90% of Giants fans want Dave Gettleman fired. I back up Dave Gettleman in a lot of things I have to say, but I think I give a good enough reason why people want to watch. So, yeah, it's kind of what I always say. I'm like, as a consumer, I'd almost rather watch a YouTuber that I don't agree with because I feel like I learned something. Right. If I watch somebody that I agree with every single thing that the guy says, what am I learning? What am I picking up on? What different perspective am I getting? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely get the attraction to something like that.
That's why I like that specific gentleman that I just talked about, because I don't agree with everything he says, but his method of delivery and his intelligence level warrants my attention. Like, okay, I'll at least listen to what you have to say, and I'll digest it. And if after I've digested it, he is a journalist. After I've digested it, if I don't agree with it still, that's fine. At least it made me think. At least it made me critically think, because we are missing that a lot as a society, is critical thinking, because everything's easy. It's all right here. Giants. I got Giants. It's all right here. all the answers are right here, and we don't have to think anymore. And we're starting to get away from critical thinking.
Anyway, we've been away from it.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Going to games. I told the wife, when this thing is all said and done, I'm not going nowhere still. I'm going to have to let the heat die down a little bit, which really sucks because I really was trying to get tickets to the Giants Cowboys game up at MetLife, and I was willing to spend whatever, like legitimately, I was willing to spend whatever because my wife has never seen her dirty, nasty, stinky, filthy Cowboys play, and that would have been an opportunity for us to go together to a game. Her being a Cowboys fan, me being a Giants fan, and watch our teams play each other.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, it's going to happen every year. It happens every year, so there'll be other opportunities to go and see the Cowboys play, and hopefully we can get a game that's a little earlier in the year. Because going to see a game that late in the year up in New York, it's cold in the mug. I'll tell you what, it's cold. But like, I'm not going to no games.
Yeah.
If we have a season, I'm watching them all on TV. I may not go to a game for like a couple of years, just to be completely honest with you. Like this stuff is too crazy to be playing around with. This ain't no game. Yeah. So I'm gonna. Yes, my wife is a Cowboys fan. You would have got divorce papers right away.
Well, the way I look at it is, you're not going to get the same experience either. It's not, like I see all these people going to Disney World, right? I saw that on the news the other day. For some reason, Florida came up with the brilliant idea. We should open up theme parks. And, I know it's limited capacity and they got these strong testing, but I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, so these people, they're coming in. It's an empty theme park. You have to sit like 10 feet away from everybody on the rides. You have to wear a mask the entire time. You probably can't get food from the vendors. So I'm like saying to myself, like, what is the enjoyment? It would be the same thing in going to a football game. It's not the same atmosphere. So
you
even
if high five and be like, yeah.
So I'm just like, I wouldn't do anything like that until, I'm not saying if it starts to get safer, I'm not saying don't go out to dinner. I'm not saying that, but I'm not going to a theme park. I'm not going to a sporting event. I'm not doing that. It's unnecessary. And it's not going to be the same experience that you're paying for.
Nope. And I'm dying to do all those things you just said. Like I am internally dying to go to a theme park or the movie theater or a football game. I'm dying to do all those things, but I'm not going to die to do all those things. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not bars.
Yeah.
Bars. Y'all, I'm a rapper. Y'all forget bars. I don't see them allowing fans at all. They may as well pump. You know what? Have you been seeing the Korean baseball games? Have you been watching those?
I watched a couple. I didn't really get into it just because I don't have any familiarity with the players or anything like that. I watched a couple though. I'm getting up at 4 a.m. to watch baseball.
But you seen how they've been doing it, where they're putting
the cardboard fans and stuff.
Cutouts and stuff.
Yeah.
That might be what it has to be. That might be what. You know what? Here's what I would do. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I would do. Oh man, I'm gonna give this idea away, right? And when it happens. Y'all, when this stuff happens, y'all tell everybody PTA Sports sent you, okay? This is what I would do if I was like the owner of a game. I'd be like, all right, cool, check this out. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to put a 360-degree camera up in the middle of my stadium. The best camera money can fucking buy. 360-degree camera. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell virtual tickets so that you can get on your PlayStation VR or your Xbox VR or your Oculus Rift or whatever the case may be, and you could be right on the damn field watching the game happen. And in that way, I don't have to have anybody in the stadium. And everybody's got I've got PlayStation VR and got it set up, but everybody's got a PlayStation VR or the Xbox VR headset or the Oculus Rift.
That's a pretty cool idea.
That's what I would do. I would spend some straight up money to get a 360 camera, and I would charge people tickets to watch the game in VR. And then when this COVID stuff is done, I'd continue to do it. You can either come to the stadium, watch it, or you could be on the field watching it in VR in your house. That's what I would do.
That's a pretty smart idea, Pest. I think you should patent that.
Well, here's the thing. I said it, I said it on July 15th in the year of our Lord 2020 at 9:08 p.m. I just copyrighted that idea. So when it happens, I can say, "Hey, that was my idea. It's on YouTube. It's copyrighted now."
You got it. That's it. You just made yourself $1 million easy.
So when a stadium does it, I'm a sue the shit out of them. I'm a sue their asses off, and they're gonna be like, "We wasn't even in the." You can't prove it. I'm pretty sure your name is Bigger Mike.
It's actually a good idea. Something that I wouldn't have thought of. That's actually a pretty cool idea.
That's what I would do because I'm going to make money now during COVID. I don't have to worry about having the fans in. The players can come in there. They can play their game, do what they want to do. And then in the future, I continue to do. I mean, like the very first time I watched a YouTube video on my phone once, it was the Angry Joe Show. Shout out to the Angry Joe Show. And he did like a 360 degree video, and he was at like Comic-Con or something. So like if you have your phone in front of you and you could like tilt your phone up or tilt your phone down or go left or go right, and it's like and it's like being in Angry Joe's shoes. I want to say he had like a GoPro that had the 360 degree capability. So it was like being at Comic-Con on your phone. And I was like, yo, this is such a cool ass idea. They should put this in stadiums and sell tickets to be somewhere in VR.
I'm just thinking crazy thoughts right now, and it wouldn't be happening. Nah, I don't think it would happen. But what if they were able to somehow, on the broadcast, almost act as if there was a green screen for the crowd, and have basically on Madden, but make them look like real people sitting in the seats. They're not really there, but they simulate a crowd noise for the viewing experience on TV. I don't think they'd be able to do it that quick, but that's something that's. Maybe it happens. I don't know.
They can do that. You know that there's this, so, man, people are ingenuitive, man. There's a couple of comics who set up a virtual comedy store, right? And so basically what you do is you go on their site and you buy a ticket to the show. When you buy the ticket to the show, they send you a code for like Zoom.
Yeah.
And then you can sit in front of your computer and you can watch the comedy show, and the comic tells a joke, and you laugh. The comic can hear you laughing. Now it's interactive, so the comic can still tell if the joke hits because the people that are watching are laughing. And as long as you got a microphone, which everything has a microphone now, they can hear you laugh. If you heckle, you get booted.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I was like, yo, that's a great ass idea. Like, why they could do something like that. But have it to where it's a Zoom and you can be sitting in there. You be like, yes, go Giants, yeah, and they can hear you because it's a Zoom call. I don't know. Like, there's tons of different ways that they can do this. So all right, listen. It is now 10 after 9, and we all got to go to see Bad Dog. I'm gonna talk some big shit in this chat, y'all, and I hope y'all go talk some big shit in this chat too. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to end this. Chris the Entertainer, I am so appreciative of you for coming on here. You have an open invitation to come here and go live with me anytime you want, any day of the week. You are the first person to let me go on your channel and go live. So my channel is your channel too. Anytime you want to do this, you let me know.
Yeah, same thing on my channel. I mean, within reason, because I can't go live every night. But yeah, man, I definitely want to have you on the channel again. Definitely one of my favorite guys to work with. I said that when you came on my live stream, one of my favorite live streams I've done. So, especially once we get actual stuff to talk about. Right now we're kind of whatever. But once the season gets into the fold, if we have one, definitely want to have you on as much as I can. So I'm looking forward to this season and getting to talk more football with you, man. But just had fun just talking about whatever tonight. It was a fun stream, and thank you to everybody for being here. I appreciate it.
So with that being said, guys, we really appreciate y'all coming and listening to us talk about a bunch of different topics, a little bit of nonsense. You know what? I just thought we still have to do a live stream where I tell some good stories. We talked about doing that, so we'll definitely do a talking nonsense We're gonna bring that back just for a special occasion. I'll tell you guys some real good stories. I'll tell you guys some stories that I am allowed to tell. And then in a couple of years I'll go ham and I'll tell crazy ass stories because I can't get in trouble at that point. We really appreciate you guys coming and listen to us talk. Make sure that you have subscribed to myself, to The Entertainer if you have not already. Please go and subscribe to all of the great content creators that pop their heads in, and go take your ass over to Bad Dog so we can talk some smack about our division. I'm really excited. So with that being said, Tanner, if you'd like to close us out, please, if you grace us with that.
No, thank you guys for being here. And again, thank you to Pest for having me on. And yeah, if you guys haven't done so, I don't know what you're waiting for. We got to get Pest more subscribers. I think he's one of the more entertaining guys in the Giants community. So definitely subscribe to him. Like I said, looking forward to working with him in the past. And if you liked what you watched, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give Pest a little thumbs up. Cheers.
Deuces.